Hi everyone, it's your girl Ayana. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. We're actually going to do a review video and review content provided by the content providers 8 at the Table. If you are not familiar with them, I highly recommend you checking them out. They provide content on lifestyle and relationships. Sometimes it can be pretty controversial, but nonetheless it's very thought-provoking. And like this channel, we're working on growing and learning and being encouraged and inspired to be the best versions of ourselves. So we review content that helps us be the best versions of ourselves so we can live a fulfilling and peaceful life. In today's video that we're going to be reviewing, they discuss from a woman's perspective, what is more of a priority, emotional security versus financial security. There is no right or wrong perspective in this case. And in most cases, there's not a lot of right or wrong. It's what resonates most with you and what motivates and inspires you. So we're going to check out both perspectives. I'm going to give my commentary and let's discuss it because I'm curious to hear what your perspective is as well. So the first video that we are going to check out is the video on emotional security. Now, my definition of emotional security in the boundaries of a romantic relationship is when you have a partner or you and your partner both decided that in your relationship, the needs, emotional needs of your partner or better half is a priority. So you invest more time in making sure that their emotional security, confidence is a priority over other needs. So let's check out the video. Let's see their perspective and then I'll follow up with mine.
For me, the first security that I want is emotional security because I don't want to plan and I don't want to have goals with the guy that I'm with if I am not sure he's going to be emotionally there for me. Can I trust you with my emotions? Can I trust you with shit that I'm going through in my life before I even say, okay, can I even trust you financially? Because for me, it's like if you have the emotions in my little pyramid of security, right? I have the emotions, which is the biggest part. Then I have the goals, I have the money, I have the family.
It's been financial first. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna put up no fake facade. It's been the bread first.
But why you think that? But why?
I think because I don't expect men to instantly be emotionally attached to me or emotionally ready.
Go in with preconceived notions. You're already shooting yourself in the foot.
Very fascinating perspective, in my opinion, on emotional security. I love how she mentioned her pyramid of security. I had never heard that term before. I'm going to look it up, but I'm definitely going to utilize it because I think it's fascinating. It reminds me of Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. But nonetheless, I love that she said that. I think it was a brilliant concept. The other thing that I kind of found funny in the video is when the other young lady jumped in to give her perspective about more so financial security, the gentleman next to her leaped over away from her. His whole body language changed. His facial expressions changed. He was not pleased with her dialogue. And he started to challenge her, but we didn't watch enough of the video. And then the other gentleman, I think his name was Oliver, chimed in too with his perspective. But let's focus on the young lady's perspective on emotional security. I get what she's saying. I totally resonate with her because I am very similar to her in that sense. My emotional needs are higher on my priority than the financial needs from a partner. I can explain that because I am so used to being independent and financially taking care of myself. I have not necessarily looked to that for a partner because I found that in myself. Whereas the emotional needs, I look for in a partner to support my emotional needs. Haven't been the most successful at it, but it has been a priority to me. How do you make me feel? How are we connecting? How do you feel? Like I'm one of those people. I want to know everything about you. I want to connect on the deepest of deepest levels. Even in my friendships. A lot of my friends, we don't have very surface level conversations. When we do have conversations, very deep, psychological, how we feel, how that, affect our feelings, affect our environment in our relationships. So I'm very emotionally driven, so I understand and I can totally appreciate her perspective. I'm super curious to get into the next video where we're going to talk about the financial security and that being a priority. For me, the definition of financial security in a romantic relationship is where you have means to money, like financial security is not an issue because you are financially stable. That is a priority to either your partner or to the both of you. So, and in some people, that's more important than emotional. We're going to find that out right now. So let's check out this next video.
There are some women who are in relationships with men. There is no emotional connection,
Yeah, they
right?
come to me.
But she's just well taken
Just our
care of
charge
and she
now.
don't give a damn. That's just the fact.
Yeah, they
There are
also-
situations. I'm not saying that's me.
They don't care if
but
he has sex or anything.
don't care. Don't
got
give a
the
damn
bag.
because that's what they require.
Yeah.
Some women require that security and that's just it. They want to make sure, look, I don't care as long as I can live in a nice lavish place. I can go shopping. My baby got the new Louis cart to go with the carriage and I can stunt on my friends and we could go on trips. There are some women that don't give a damn about what their man feel. Those women keep those men happy by not doing too much, not asking a lot of questions. I'm right?
They let them do
What they
want to
wanna
do.
do.
That goes to stuff that we talked about before when I said that there are women out there that willingly and know that their man is doing things and they don't say nothing.
Very fascinating perspective on financial security from a woman's perspective who prioritizes financial security in her relationships. I think it's very open and honest because I think a lot of women maybe operate in that arena where finances are important. Heck, in life, you need to be financially stable, right? It shows that when you are, you're a little bit more happier, right? When you're not stressed about bills and things like that. So I get that perspective. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's not the way I've operated, and I probably could learn from a woman who resides more in her financial security as a priority. Maybe I need to make that more of a priority in my life. But like I mentioned prior, I've always been more independent. So I've been able to provide my own financial security. But for women who look for that in a man, like I said, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it works. And like that gentleman said, those women don't mind if their man goes out and cheats or he's out of town all the time or they don't spend a lot of quality time, as long as they have what they need that meets their financial needs. And like the young lady said, some of the more material things like purses and the kids go to the nice schools and all that kind of stuff, that's more important than necessarily meeting her emotional needs. Like, how's she doing? Does she want to spend more time with him? Does she miss him? That's not as much of a priority for her, whereas the financial part is. Both, in my opinion, the emotional security and the financial security are important, right? I think the key is you and your partner are on the same page with what's important. So if you're seeking a partner who is financially stable and who focuses on financial security, you have to have that same frame of mind that he may be working longer hours, or your partner is going to be working longer hours, maybe out of town a lot, may not devote as much time to the family or your needs because they are focusing on long game, making sure that the household is secure, that there are no needs financially. Where on the other hand, relationships that focus more on emotional security, they may be more invested in building a stronger family, a deeper connection between each partner, working more on self-development, working on things that just enrich their life emotionally. And they may be okay with a more modest lifestyle, not having a luxury lifestyle, which is okay. Both dynamics are absolutely fine as long as both partners are okay with that. And I think that's where the problem can come up if one partner is on one page and the other is on another page when it comes to emotional security versus financial security. If financial security is important to you, you need to seek out a partner that has that same importance. Like that is equally as important to them. That way, when that partner is away for a long time, traveling and working or spending long hours at the office and not as invested in the household or raising the family because they're more invested in the financial aspect, you have to be comfortable with that lifestyle and understanding that your partner is not going to be there for you emotionally as often as you need. So if you are the type of person who desires more of an emotional relationship and depends more on emotional security from your partner, seeking out a partner that thrives more in the financial security realm where that is their priority may not be the best match for you. You are probably going to do better with somebody who's equally as emotionally driven, who cares about emotions and deep connections. So I think the best relationship would be to pair up with someone like that, where your priority is more on deeper relationships. Nonetheless, like I keep saying, neither dynamic is right or wrong. It's really what works best for you, especially if you are seeking a long-term relationship. You want to try to find someone who's very compatible with you in these two realms. I think in a perfect world, we would be able to find someone who has a balance, right, of emotional and financial security. I think that would be the perfect spouse. But that's not really realistic. I think at times in relationships, it may teeter where your financial security needs trumps your emotional. I think when the needs change in the relationship, it's key that you communicate. You and your partner are in a place where you can come together and discuss when needs aren't being met. For instance, if you're with a partner who is driven by finances and they take pride in providing, and so everything they do is geared toward that, where it may not be as invested in emotional needs. If you are feeling like your emotional needs are not being met, I think it's totally fair to come to your partner and have that discussion. And it could be something as simple as, I value what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing for our family and our lifestyle, but I really miss connecting with you. Is it possible we can set some time aside on a weekly basis where it can just be you and I, or family time, where we can work on our relationship and deepen our relationship? I think that's a totally fair request to ask of your partner. Where on the other end, if you are in a relationship and say the focus needs to really be more on finances because you're struggling, coming to your partner and saying, hey, I'm really interested in a promotion at my job, but that requires me to do X, Y, and Z, and that's going to take me from the house more. And you may be required to do a little bit more of the house, responsibilities, or I may not be able to spend as much time at home with you and the family like we used to, but I know how hard we're struggling financially, and I think this will help us so that eventually I can get back to spending more time with the family. Is this something that you're willing to compromise with me, or how can we make this work where I can help us out more financially and still be connected to the household? Something like that. I'm not very eloquent when it comes to on the spot compromises, but I think that's another reasonable request. Like if there's a need in the household and you have to step in to meet that need, I think your partner should understand and be willing to support that. Communication, though, getting on the same page and expressing that. I think early in the relationship, you should be having that conversation as well with your partner, discussing what your priorities are at the time. If your emotional priorities is key to you, your partner should know that, and your partner should go into the relationship knowing that, and knowing that they're going to need to step up and provide emotionally for you, or vice versa. If it's financial, your partner who is emotional is going to need to know that this is what drives you. This is what motivates you. This is something that is important to you. They're going to need to compromise and adjust to that lifestyle as well. It's all about communication and mostly to compromise. So I hope you got some value out of today's video. I really hope you'll take it back into your relationships and have those discussions if you haven't already. think about what's important to you. Is emotional security and feeling secure by your security from your spouse and your emotional needs being met, is that priority, or is it financial? Is it important for you to have a big home and live a luxury lifestyle, not worry about bills and be able to travel, or whatever that may look like when it comes to financial security? Is that more of an importance or a priority to you? And have a conversation with each other so you're on the same page. And don't feel bad if you're not. It doesn't mean anything negative if you guys are on different pages. Work to come to a happy medium. Work to come where there's a balance, where financial and emotional needs can be met in some degree, where both of you guys are satisfied with the relationship. And don't forget to check in with each other too. Are your needs being met? Are your needs being met? Come together and check in often, because that's going to be important if you're building, if you're trying to build a long-term relationship. So thank you so much for listening to my perspective. I can't wait to hear from you. So drop your perspectives into the comments. I want to hear what's important to you. Is it emotional security or financial security? And is your partner meeting your needs? And how have you worked through that in the past? So till next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please be safe, be true, and be authentically you.